Welcome back. In Ogun State, the Department of Petroleum Resources has met with liquefied petroleum gas operators to educate them on standard practices to safeguard lives and property. According to the DPR, these sessions will reduce disasters linked with unlicensed retail outlets. Meanwhile, about 19 liquefied petroleum gas outlets have been sealed and suspects arrested, allegedly for flouting rules and regulations guiding their operations.
Incidents such as these, caused by illegal mounting of skids in the country, has become a concern for the Department of Petroleum Resources. 6 lives were reportedly lost in the inferno that ravaged the Adigbe area of Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, in 2017. Gas plants suspected to be a danger to lives and property are shut, like these 2, and 17 others found not to be adhering to the standards.
All the ones we said were operating without our approvals and license to operate. And most of them were sited at the wrong places. Some were sited under high tension wires without following the necessary setback as stipulated by PHCN. Some were sited close to residential building. Some were sited very close proximity to source of ignition. We visited some that they were sited at the entrance of buildings. One was sited adjacent to a bakery. Anytime we go on surveillance and we see such unsafe acts, we normally see such outlet or facility until the safety lapses are addressed.
This advocacy meeting held by the Department of Petroleum Resources seeks to address these issues while reiterating the strict regulations guiding the operation of gas plants.
We want to appeal to all LPG plants owners, including retail outlets, that is those selling cooking gas in cylinders, that they should abide by the stipulated standards. The stipulated standards are in place to ensure that accidents do not occur. We encourage investors to invest in LPG, but while doing that, they have to adhere to the stipulated standard and regulations. In DPR, we have zero tolerance for safety lapses.
And from the operators comes this promise.
We are ready to cooperate and to align with the guidelines as stipulated by DPR.
The DPR says it will continue to monitor the outlets, and where safety rules are flouted, those responsible face closure of their businesses and a fine of up to 1 million naira.
The Kano State Governor has been speaking on the reasons behind the stoppage of the foreign scholarship offered to students in the state by the previous administration. According to the Governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, the offer is a waste of meager resources on a venture that does not have anything better than what home universities have to offer. The Governor also denies claims by some members of the New People's Democratic Party who allege marginalization by the ruling All Progressives Congress.
For the last 10 years, but
thousands of our students were sponsored abroad, and there was pronouncement that all the monies for tuition and upkeep were paid 100%, so that incoming governments may not face problems for the students in completing their studies. We discovered that that was not true. It was only the initial payment that was made. We discovered that some universities were not even offering the courses we were sending our students to. They only started making arrangements to offer such courses after collecting our money. 6, we discovered that most of the courses that our students were sent to study are available in Nigeria.
July Ganduje, governor of Kano State. Now we'll bring you an update on the story we told you earlier about the conviction of former governor of Taraba State, Jolly Nyame. That court has now sentenced him to 14 years in prison without an option of fine over the criminal breach of trust in the case of 1.64 billion naira fraud preferred against him by the EFCC. The court, presided over by Justice Adebukola Banjoko, found him guilty in 27 of 41 counts. He was governor of Taraba State between 1999 and 2007 and is accused of criminally misappropriating and misapplying that sum of 1.64 billion naira when he governed Taraba State. And that's where we'll leave it for this edition of News Across Nigeria, where north, south, east, and not forgetting the west, we'll let you know what's happening across the country.